day, everyone. I am State Rep Linda Dean Campbell, and on behalf of the Trask family, I want to welcome all of you, and very importantly, thank you all for being here today. What an incredible, incredible turnout. We're here today. We're going to celebrate the life and honor the service to our country of Petty Officer Caitlin Trask, and to so name this bridge after her in her honor. So please everyone stand, and let's to welcome the USS Constitutional Color Guard and the Haverhill and North Andover Fire Departments, who will parade the colors, and Ashley Chipman, who will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was beautiful. I would first like to recognize Caitlin's mother and father and her family members who are here today. Many of them are here today. Mary and Don Trask are the strongest and kindest and most selfless people you'll ever meet. And this bridge is in part a testament to the values that you instilled in Caitlin. There is no doubt. We all feel really privileged to share this day with you here today, and thank you so much. Mary and Dawn asked that we honor today not only Caitlin's heroism, but the honorable service of so many people of Caitlin's generation, service members, who have made the ultimate sacrifice in this battle that continues today, the war on terror. Mary and Dawn were the ones that wanted to include a whole generation of those who have lost their lives in this never-ending battle of good and evil. Mary, Dawn, your grace and courage really give us strength, and thank you. It is a true gift to all of us. Governor Baker, Secretary Urena, thank you for being here with us today. It means so much to the Trask family and service members really throughout our Commonwealth. And it is but one more example of your true and steadfast commitment to the service members in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thank you so very much for being here. I want to recognize my Senate counterpart, Senator Katie Ives, who moved this legislation through the Senate to name this bridge in Caitlin's honor. Senator, thank you for being with us. I want to recognize also and thank my colleagues in the legislature and their support for making this day possible and for their presence here today. Senator Bruce Tarr, Representatives Vargas, DeZaglio, and Mira. Thank you so very much. We have with us today to share this day North Andover Town Manager Andrew Mailer, and we're also joined by Haverhill City Council President John Mitchinson, who is representing the City of Haverhill, and Mayor Fiorentini, who could not be with us today. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation, the City of Haverhill, and my legislative aide, Sasha Alec, were insistent that today's ceremony be conducted in a way that was most meaningful to the Trask family. They did a great job, and I want to thank all of them. Well, when I look out here, most importantly, I want to thank our veterans and our veteran service officers who are always there for our service members here in the Commonwealth. And they are present here this morning in enormously large number, and they will be introduced shortly. And I want to thank all you veterans who are here today. Thank you, and God bless you. Caitlin Trask could not wait to join the Navy in order to serve and protect our country. She passed on several acceptances to prestigious colleges, and she loved the challenge of Navy life and her fellow sailors. She passed on her first Christmas off so that a fellow sailor could be home with his family, as his dad had recently passed away. Mary told me she was tough, really tough. And indeed, she served in a no-nonsense environment where simple mistakes and miscalculations could cost lives instantly and create dangerous situations for policymakers. She was destined for greater leadership and responsibility. This I know. Who Caitlin Trask was inspires us because of her complete dedication to mission and her fellow sailors. And she loved her country. Indeed, she challenges us to reflect on our greatness as a nation and our generosity as Americans. In dedicating this bridge today, we are also commemorating Caitlin as the wonderful daughter and sister and hero that she is. In dedicating this bridge today, we also help to ensure that her life continues to inspire future generations to service and love of country here in Haverhill and across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It is my distinct honor now to introduce our own Secretary of Veterans Affairs, a native of Lawrence, a decorated Marine who received the Purple Heart during Operation Iraqi Freedom. But most importantly, a person truly committed to each and every veteran in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, our Secretary, Secretary Francesco Urena.
Thank you, Representative Campbell, and good morning to each and every one of you all. To the Trask family, thank you for allowing us to join you and your extended family. Many of we've met today. What a true sense of community that we have here in Massachusetts, where we can come together, not only for funerals and other honors, but also for opportunities such as these gatherings, a decade later, to have an opportunity to continue to honor the memory, the sacrifice, and a family who has gone through so much and continues to connect us all in this Gold Star community. I know that we have many Gold Star families here in the audience outside of the Trask family. I'd like to ask any other Gold Star families to please raise your hand or stand so that we could recognize you for your service and your sacrifice. Let us all give you a round of applause. You know, this community that bonds us is also a community that stands by our veterans and their families. In each city and town here in the Commonwealth, we have a veteran service officer, dedicated, trained, and willing and able to provide the sense of community, the benefits and services that our veterans, that our Gold Star families have earned for their sacrifice. I'd like to recognize those that are here in the audience. I see Michael Ingham, our Haverhill Veteran Service Officer. hold your applauses because I have a list of them and I will be applauding here. They all deserve a great round of applause. Alicia Redding, Jamie Melendez, Tom Hargraves, Michaela Brito, Crystal Clune, Seth Bai. And if I missed any others, we'll definitely recognize them throughout the program. But now we could give them all a great round of applause. You know, to the Trask family and to all of our Gold Star families. You know, none of us who have not shared your experience would never know what it is to lose a loved one, your child, your husband, your service member. But what I can promise you, that we as a community will always stand beside you. This bridge dedication not only connects those that are traveling above this 125 connector, but it'll have Caitlin's name. And it will be a forever reminder to all those in this community that will continue to know of her sacrifice and your sense of connection to the Gold Star Families community, whether we find you at supporting another family who has lost a loved one, or whether we are at the State House dedicating the Christmas tree as a yearly tradition. It is that sense of opportunity that we have to remind one another who Caitlin was, how she became such a strong young lady, which is not surprising, Mary, of our great sense of conversation, and Dawn, of your great intuition that you provided to her. And to the rest of the Trask family, thank you for our sense of getting to know you all today, and one that we'll get to know long into the future. Now it gives me great honor and privilege to introduce our governor of the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts, someone who is not a stranger to this community, someone who's not a stranger to many of you all, and someone who day in and day out has a focus to making the Commonwealth that much better for everyone and keeps our veterans and their families in mind, our Governor, Charlie Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and let me just start, first of all, on behalf of the Commonwealth, by thanking all of you for coming out here this morning. And to the Trask family, all of you, I guess I would say that we start with the proposition that we are here to never forget Caitlin, and to be part of this ceremony where her name goes up on that bridge forever. Now, these bridges and tunnels and squares that we name after are fallen. Many of them take on kind of a life of their own. The Ted Williams Tunnel is the Ted. The William Callahan Tunnel is the Callahan Tunnel. Most of these memorials become personal. And it will be interesting to see if this becomes Katie's Bridge or Caitlin's Bridge or the Trask family bridge. But at some point it will develop a name. And that name will be part of how people in this community honor and remember Caitlin. Now, I'm from a small town in Swampscott, and after 9/11, a lot of our young men and women signed up to fight terror and preserve our way of life. Thankfully, most of them came home and got on with their lives. Several died there. Several died after they got back. The ones that died were all in their 20s. Their 20s. When I was in my 20s, the most important thing in my life was what I was going to do on Friday night. The level of maturity and bravery and commitment to something bigger than themselves that we expect from the young men and women who put on that uniform is extraordinary. And the most extraordinary part of all is they deliver over and over and over again across generations, decades, and centuries to keep this country free and to preserve the opportunity that we all have to be part of this great democracy. Those who serve, who are here with us today, God bless you for your service. Those who honor those who serve, thank you so much for being with us. And to Caitlin, and to Mary and Don, and to the rest of your family, there's nothing any of us can do to ever repair the loss of your loved one. All we can do is make sure that she's not forgotten. And that's what Caitlin's Bridge, or whatever you choose over time to nickname it, is all about here today. And I want to give a special shout out to the legislative delegation for getting this done. On behalf of Caitlin and on behalf of your family, and giving this community a way to say thank you to the Trasks, thank you to Caitlin, and to never forget. God bless you all.
Thank you, Governor. As I said before, he's always here for us. It's my pleasure to introduce Senator Katie Ives, who is my counterpart in the Senate and shepherded this bill through the Senate. Senator.
Thank you very much, and thank you again, Governor, for being here. It means a lot to Haverhill and North Andover. Today, indeed, marks a celebration of U.S. Navy Petty Officer Caitlin E. Trask's life and her valued service to country. It was an honor, clearly, to pass the bridge naming legislation along with my colleague in the Senate, Minority Leader Bruce Tarr, and we worked in close coordination with Representative Campbell as she led this initiative. I also want to thank Senator Mike Rush, who's the co-chair of the Veterans and Federal Affairs Committee, who helped coordinate getting the color guard of the USS Constitution here today. And thank you to those members for taking the time to join us. Now, Caitlin and her service in the United States Navy is beyond impressive because at the age of 20, she earned so many honors and medals. I know we're familiar with them, but they are so numerous. We feel the loss. We military families know that it's not only sacrifice when we see our loved ones serve, but there's always that lingering prospect. And we know that the Trask family has suffered the ultimate sacrifice. Her dedication to public service and protecting our country merits her being considered a hero without question. She set an example for other young people to aspire to. And in fact, the Trask family are heroes too, for they have faithfully kept her memory alive. And they maintain an inner fortitude unimaginable to ensure that Caitlin is recognized with the honor that she deserves for her service over self. I'm truly honored to be here today, to be amongst Caitlin's family and loved ones, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, friends, and neighbors. Every time we remember Caitlin, it's an act of defiance. She will not be forgotten. There is no doubt because we're here. Her excellence and her dedication will be remembered. Thank you.
Please please welcome City Council President John Richardson from the City of Haverhill.
I want to welcome the family and the friends of United States Navy Petty Officer Caitlin Trask, including the many veterans in attendance today. On behalf of Mayor James Ferrantini, who has entrusted me with this important role today. We are a city with a long history of honoring our local veterans in a variety of ways, including dedicating bridges in their honor. And today, we continue that tradition as we honor Petty Officer Caitlin Trask. In preparing for this event, I learned that she volunteered for Iraq when she became a petty officer, so somebody married and with kids didn't have to go. And as you heard earlier, she gave up her Christmas leave to help another sailor who lost his father. We are all proud that a person with such character once called Haverhill her home. I also learned that she wanted the War on Terror, America's longest war, to be recognized. The best way that I can do that is to share with you my experience with seeing the price that our war fighters pay firsthand. While I am not a veteran, I was in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia on June 25th, 1996, supporting our war fighters. On that day, a devastating terrorist attack took place on a U.S. Air Force housing complex in Dhahran. The bombers drove a tanker truck packed with 5,000 pounds of explosives near the complex and then jumped into waiting vehicles, escaping just before detonation. The explosion left a crater 85 feet wide and 35 feet deep. 19 U.S. service members, undoubtedly with the same love of their nation that Petty Officer Trask had, were killed, and some 500 people were injured. This was the precursor to the War on Terror that continues today. I saw firsthand the dedication and the ultimate sacrifice that our service members, like Petty Officer Trask, are willing to make. I saw firsthand the ultimate commitment that she made to her country for the War on Terror. So, it is the ultimate honor for me to represent the city of Haverhill today in dedicating this bridge to a true hero, U.S. Navy Petty Officer Caitlin Trask, for helping to protect us all. Thank you very much for attending, and God bless America. I would like to introduce a couple of my colleagues that have joined us today. City Councilor Melinda Barrett, City Councilor Joe Bevilacqua, and our Fire Chief William LeLiberty is also here today. Now I would like to introduce Rob Madore for Bridges for the following.
Good morning. So this is Caitlin's day, and this is Caitlin's bridge. Not only does this bridge represents Caitlin and her family's sacrifice, but it represents every single person that ever died fighting for our freedom. Think about that. When the signs are uncovered for this bridge, it becomes a national monument of freedom, honor, and respect. Today we celebrate Caitlin, Jason, Don, and Mary Trask. They have earned this bridge, and they have earned this honor, and this bridge will make sure that Caitlin's sacrifice will never be forgotten, and this bridge is now part of Caitlin's legacy. Where a cemetery is a negative connection with a headstone and dates, you think about death. This bridge is a positive healing connection that makes you think about her life, every minute of her life. This bridge lets people come together to celebrate Caitlin's life, and it helps people heal. This bridge is a mechanism of healing for the Trask family, Caitlin's friends, and everybody here today. In your darkest hour, when you think there is no hope, if you can be the light for another person, you can use that same light to follow them out of darkness. Even in your darkest hour, there is hope. This bridge is also about hope. So I'd like to thank the Trask family. We've come a long way since our first chats on the phone, and Representative Campbell stepped up and hit a grand slam. Take a look around you. This is the doing of the Trask family and Representative Campbell. This is an amazing turnout. Governor Baker, thank you. This is by far, I do bridges in all 50 states, and Massachusetts is by far the best state to do bridges in. So thank you very much. Purple Heart recipient, Secretary, Veterans Affairs, Francisco Urena. Always a pleasure. Senator O'Connor Ives, Representative Campbell, Sasha Alak, Massachusetts Fallen Heroes, and Rolling Thunder, the Patriot Guard, the American Legion Riders, North Andover and Haverhill Fire Department. Thank you so much. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation, they're a pleasure to work with. Absolute pleasure. They did this. They made this happen. Massachusetts State Police, the Haverhill Police Department. You know, it was my friend that got gunned down in Yarmouth. So I fully understand what these gentlemen do. The City of Haverhill, our national anthem singer, Ashley Chipman, that was awesome. The Marine Rifle Volley, thank you. USS Constitution Guard. Alexander Savioli III, part of our Bridges for the Fallen team. Joe Savioli and Tess Bain and Rob Creel, Rob Allen, Dave LeBlanc, Lisa Martanzik, Stephen Exaros, the people that travel the country with me, dedicating bridges. My wife for believing in this crazy dream that has resulted in 1,141 bridges being dedicated. And lastly, for my best friend Al Savioli, guiding me from heaven now. He told me to fight for it with everything I had to get this particular bridge done. He was with me when I got the request, and he's with us right now. So thank you very much.
Mary and Dawn, it's time to see this plaque. Will you help us? Come on, let's go. Let's do this.
I would like to begin thanking Governor Baker for making the time and coming and for signing the bill to make this all happen to honor Caitlin. Thank you, Francisco, for always being there for Gold Star families. Thank you, Senator Ives and Linda B. Campbell, for pushing this effort along for us and getting it done. I have personally seen the hard work Linda does for all the veterans. Having served in the Army herself, she knows firsthand the sacrifices of the young men and women make to serve our great nation. We would like to thank Mass Fallen Heroes. We'd like to thank Ashley Chipman for singing, doing a beautiful job with the national anthem. Thanks to the Campbell Highland Pipes and Drums. Thank you to the Marine Rifle Volley and Rolling Thunder and Patriot Guards and all the other motorcyclists that took the time to come today. And I'd like to thank the North Andover and the Haverhill Fire Department for the beautiful flag and taking their time. And without the Mass DOT, a lot of this couldn't happen. So we thank you very, very much. The City of Haverhill and the Mass State Police and the USS Constitution Honor Guard. And thanks to Rob Mador for his support and direction in getting this all done. Our journey started, we were awoken on February 12th, 2009, by our son telling us that there were 2 Navy officers downstairs in the front hall waiting to talk to us. As long as I will be alive to remember running down the stairs to see them, only to have them to tell the 3 of us that Caitlin had been shot and killed. There are no words to describe the horror. 9 years later, it's still an open wound that scabs over and often gets ripped off, and the pain comes through. These are wounds that never heal. When Caitlin was going to high school, everyone was taking the entrance exams to Central Catholic and the Presentation of Mary. She got accepted to both. I told her there's a lot of money to spend on high school and we need the money to pay on your college. She goes, oh, I don't want to go there. I just want to show everybody else that I could get in. So when we were talking about colleges, and she had great grades, and she applied for Suffolk and BU, UMass, and then she got accepted letters to each one, and then she turned them all down. And we had Suffolk University write to us, and Caitlin said she wanted to be more challenged, so they offered her Suffolk University in Madrid, Spain. But she still didn't want that. She kept on saying she wanted to join the Navy, and Mary and I felt that that was kind of a passing thing that would kind of go away, but she just kept on talking about it. And she studied and studied, and she researched where in the Navy she wanted to be, and she wanted to be a cryptologist. And when we got her things from her apartment after she was killed down in Virginia, there was a box containing flashcards that she had made to study for her second class petty officer exam. She had a plan, and she knew where she wanted to go and what she wanted to do. And she planned on taking her big brother along with her. Caitlin was inspired by the events of 9/11 to do something to make our country safe from terrorists. When she joined the Navy, we all joined the Navy. We would travel wherever she went in this country, and had the opportunity to go on an outing with the USS Dwight Eisenhower, which she was stationed on. And she had already been deployed once to the Middle East and was ready for another 9-month deployment when she was killed. We have stayed friends with most of her shipmates. They come up here, we go down to see them. One of her shipmates didn't have a dad, so she asked me if I would do the honor to walk her down the aisle, because I would never ever get a chance to walk Katie down the aisle. Katie did an awesome job in choosing friends, and of course she has some awesome friends here. We wonder all the time what would she be doing now. We miss her so much, and we were just so proud of her. On Monday, she would have turned 30. She was 20. She died 2 months before her 21st birthday. What a wonderful gift to her and to us, this bridge. We have seen firsthand how difficult it is to be in the military. Please never forget our fallen heroes, great men and women, those who have served and given their lives, and those who continue to serve to protect our freedoms. Thank you very much.
It's getting colder. I would like to thank Crystal Clooney for organizing all of this. We don't know what I would do without her. And thank you to all the Gold Star mothers and Gold Star wives that are here and Gold Star families. We know how tough it is, and it's nice that we all stick together. And we're huge hockey fans. I'm a huge Bruins fan. I'd like to thank the Bruins organization and the kindness of Mr. Johnny Busick for coming and supporting us today. Thank you. Go Bruins! Katie had on her Facebook page, "Happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to make them come true." She paid the price. I'd like to say, God didn't promise days without pain, laughter without sorrow, nor sun without rain. But he did promise strength for the day, comfort for the tears, and light for the way. Happy birthday in heaven, Katie. We love you and miss you, and we hope you like your bridge.
Please stand, if you would, for a rifle volley and taps by the United States Marine Corps Essex County Detention.
Honor guard, present the colors.
Please remain standing for the Campbell pipes and drums. This concludes the formalities, and on behalf of the Trask family, I want to thank you all for being here, especially our veterans, those that could be here, those that could not be here, those that are fallen. The Trask family also invites you to join them at a reception at the North Andover VFW on Park Street in North Andover. See one of us if you're able to go, and we'll get you there safely. Okay, thank you, God bless you. Thank you all for honoring us here today. Thank you.
There's no doubt about the fact that Caitlin Trask was an inspiring figure for all of us. And that's why it's important that we have this kind of tangible reminder of how important her service and her sacrifice have been, so that we can all be connected to it on a daily basis and be inspired on an ongoing basis for everything that she means, not only to our community, but to our country.
We are so grateful for the service of Caitlin Trask and for her family and their dedication to the community, to this effort to make sure that her memory stays alive. Today we heard inspirational stories about her growing up in this community and the many opportunities that she had to pursue a college education and a career, but she chose to put her life on the line in service to not only this community, but to this country. We're forever grateful. We're forever indebted to her for her life. Her memory will be forever available for us to see and to think about her life on the bridge. Today is her soft and failing. Thanks so much to Dawn and Mary for your amazing and inspirational words in the community today. Forever indebted.
We were here to organize, and the attendance was phenomenal. Today is all about remembering Caitlin Trask, and it was a true team effort. I'm Katie O'Connor-Ives, the state senator for North Andover, and Senator Tarr in the Senate and we together passed legislation in the Senate, and with the leadership of Representative Linda Dean Campbell in the House, got a bill passed to be able to name a bridge here in Haverhill after Caitlin Trask.
So, yes, excellent. So I want to thank my counterpart in the Senate, Senator Ives, for getting this legislation passed. And so why this is important is that we get numb with numbers. The war on terror is the longest war that the United States has ever fought. And the numbers get numbing after a while. But when we do something like this to put a face to those numbers and to take the time to recognize a hero, a young hero who represents so many other young heroes, I think we do a tremendous service to our veterans. We make it real, we make it personal, and the presence today of so many veterans organizations, some literally who came from across the country to be here today, traveling many days, was just a testament to the spirit of our community, to the spirit of our country, to honor those who serve and continue to serve. So we're really grateful for the turnout. Excellent turnout. Oh, and here's the sign. Yes.
So this depicts what will be shown to honor Caitlin Trask. And the governor spoke thoughtfully. We also had Secretary Francisco Urena here, as well as a very strong representation from the Haverhill Fire Department, the North Andover Fire Department. There were so many institutions and organizations that wanted to be a part of this memorable day.
Right. And There were many members from the legislature here, the delegation from around the area, Rep. Vargas, Rep. DeZaglio, Rep. Mira. So it was a truly a day to celebrate Caitlin, but also to celebrate the community that wants to honor her. So it was a true community day here.
And I'll also add that organizing today was the least that everyone could do to show support for the Trask family, because they suffer this loss every single day, but they get some solace in keeping her memory alive. So we're just honored to be a part of it.